Good evening and thanks for joining me, FON QUINTA, on the 6:30 p.m. edition of News on My Media Prime Television, beginning in Douala, where inhabitants of Ndobo locality in Bonaberi Douala First Subdivision have decried the poor state of roads in that neighborhood. They are condemning this major developmental setback as it has slowed down economic activities. Eileen Summer visited Ndobo and compiled the following report.
The inhabitants of some neighborhoods in Ndobo, Bonaberi, Douala 4 Council have decried the bad nature of roads in the quarter, which has hampered the growth of economic activities for over 4 years and counting at the Satom Road beside Petrol Lakes. The main entrance into the quarter is flooded with rainwater and characterized by potholes and stones, making life difficult for inhabitants and business people in the area.
The government should try and see what they can do, because this road like that, it has disrupted us, most especially me. Because as you can see, I'm a business somebody. Yes, I deal with fashion, as you can see. But for some time now, I'm not able to come and sell the water and the milk.
For bike and vehicle owners, transporting people and goods into and out of the neighborhood has become a nightmare. The call on the government to come to their aid. We are suffering here at Satom entrance, with this water making things hard for us at the entrance to the neighborhood. We plead with the Cameroonian government to help us arrange this road. People and commercial motorbikes usually fall into the water. Coming down to behind Bokom Ndobo, Block 4, the inhabitants had similar complaints, pointing out that with the raining season, the situation with the roads gets frustrating, especially for car owners.
It is not always easy to move when rain falls, because it's always, the whole place is always full with water. The road, you cannot move. You cannot really move. Even children to go to school, as school has started like this, you cannot, even to drive and enter the quarter, it's not always easy. So due to the bad roads, we struggle by our own to arrange the road, but some people cannot still make it. We don't want to join hands together so that we do it. So, and we don't know the mayor, the person in charge of the quarter, or is it, whether it's the mayor of Bonaberi or I don't know. But with our road here, for now it is better, but when rain falls, it's not good. It's not easy. You keep going to the garage, all those kind of things, just like that. If you move with a car, when you come, the next day you have to take it back to the garage because the road is really bad.
The people now look up to their mayor and other authorities in the littoral to spearhead reconstruction projects on these roads within the neighborhoods, which are usually abandoned, and all focus geared towards the highway.
Now, 2 weeks into the new academic year, our reporter NOLINGA visited Government Bilingual High School the Edo in Douala to ascertain their level of resumption amid the COVID-19 pandemic. She put together the following.
This is day 2 and week 2 of school resumptions, and we are here at the nation's economic capital. It's obviously called the land of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right about now, you can see the streets are very busy to tell you that everything has started effectively. Students and the workaholics are striving hard to get themselves transported at their various units. And if you can see behind me, you have a bunch of students who have, in one way or the other, have not been able to make their way into the school. Either they've come late or they are not respecting the anti-COVID-19 barrier measures, or in one way they have defaulted school rules and regulations. And right now we will be going to talk with the school authorities to see for ourselves how effective classes have begun. And just so you know, we are here at the Lycée Bileng Deido. It's one of the biggest schools. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the campus of Lycée Bileng the Deido. That's the government bilingual high school in Deido, harboring lots and lots of students, both of the English and the French speaking sections. And as you can see behind me, children are already in their classes, just a few who are still trying to get themselves sorted out with the disciplinary department. As you flip through the eyes of the camera as well, you can see lots of parents also who are here either to pay their children's school fees, especially for the lower seed students. But then we would like to talk first with the school authority, like we earlier mentioned, and that's where we're going to right now. Come along with us.
This is the second week since school started. And if you can see by yourself outside, everybody in his class, we have resumed and everything is falling very well. Before receiving the children, we started by cleaning the whole school. So far, there's no problem.
All right, now let's talk security. It's a big school. What are your strategies?
First of all, Dolly, we did our selection in such a way that we don't accept indisciplined children in this school. The EDU today is not the school you used to know. The EDU today is a school everybody would like to attend or would like to send the children to. If you can see by yourself from outside, you have all these bouncers outside controlling the children before they go to class. Make sure they don't have knives nor razor blades in the bags. And in my office, I monitor everything from the camera. When there is something wrong, I go outside to find out what is going wrong. And you see, I have so many disciplinary masters and mistresses. They are outside. And in each block, you have about 2 or 3 of them. In case of any problem, they take care.
But when it comes to the respect of anti-COVID-19 barrier measures, you know, it's a large school, I'll still reiterate. How do you go about it?
Already the first day of resuming of school, we did some counseling. They know what to do and what not to do. Already at the gate before they come in, we make sure everybody is wearing a mask. They know before they enter, they have to wash their hands with soap because you have so many washing hand points. They know in the class they are not supposed to be too close because we have respected already the instruction of hierarchy, 60 per class.
But then there is a trend which started especially from last year. We're talking about immorality in the school. What can you say about that?
Last year we had a case, all of them were dismissed. And they know already that this school is a very disciplined school and they cannot even dare because they know the repercussion. They have not yet replaced it since 2 weeks ago. I pray God that not to happen again in the school.
We will be going to the various classrooms to see for ourselves how effective learning is going on. Here we are in one of the classrooms where learning is effectively going on, as you can see for yourselves. We have the children effectively seated and there is the respect of anti-COVID-19 barrier measures. Every child is putting on a face mask and we can see they are already effective into studies and just right in front of
NOLINGA reports in the following report, student journalist and internship Young Tennyson sought to find out from motorcycle riders in the city of Douala the reason for the sudden augmentation of fares. Some say it's due to torrential rains, while others say it's as a result of poor attitude of some passengers. High report.
There has been a drastic increase in the prices of transportation fare by some bike riders in Douala, the economic town of Cameroon. According to sources, due to the high population rate Douala has found itself in, it is difficult for individuals to meet up with appointments as a result of traffic. This is the main reason why many inhabitants of Douala prefer to use commercial motorbikes for transportation. Other sources say these commercial motorbikes can easily escape traffic and can go into the nooks and crannies of the city. According to a passenger we spoke to off camera, this increase in transportation fare has caused inconveniences like lateness to their various daily activities. Another passenger is of the opinion that commercial bike riders have increased these prices due to back to school. Hence, bike riders prefer to transport more of students. Transporting non-students will mean an increase in the prices. While all these accusations are being raised against bike riders, some of them blame the attitude of some passengers.
For me, I think that the increase in prices for these bike people is due to some people too who are negligent. They don't want to pay the exact amount for the fare in different transport sectors. For example, when you are living from one distance to another one, we already know the prices. But sometimes the people, they want to pay less than that. And it makes the bike people to suffer because they're out to do something. They're out to gain something. They don't want to increase it, but it's the population pushing them to increase it.
Other bike riders are equally of the opinion that the hikes in transportation fare is as a result of an increase in the prices of fuel.
For everybody, not only for students. or for workers them. Then I say we don't just make them because of petrol. You know, petrol to not be expensive, traffic too much for Douala. So we get for work according to that one then. For same we meet up. Now where school don't start, so you know activities they go on, students they travel go for school, workers until they travel get up very early in the morning for same they meet up for reach early for office during morning time. So students they travel go school, workers until they travel go work. So they get a lot of congestion.
According to a commercial motorbike rider we spoke to off camera, he blames the increase in transport fare on bad roads and the heavy rains, which has caused some parts of the city inaccessible. Whatever the case be, Cameroonians are of the opinion that bike riding associations, together with the Ministry of Transport, put a check on the activities of some of these commercial motorbike riders so as to prevent the exploitation of Cameroonians.
We move over to the southwest region where students of Baptist High School Boye have been reassured of a healthy school environment for generations to come. This follows the construction and handing over of a modern toilet worth 11 million francs CFA donated by the Association of Baptist Ex-Students. The batch 94 Clarice Ekowe has details. This is the official handing over and inauguration of a modern water system toilet constructed by the Association of Baptist Ex-Students, the batch of 94 known as ASOBEX 94. These toilets, located at the boys' dormitory of Baptist High School Boya, and which cost about 11 million francs CFA, was handed over to the school this Saturday in order to maintain a clean school and ensure a healthy student population for generations. Going by the president of ASOBEX 94, Mr. Paul Song, the donation of this modern water system toilet is a way of giving back to this institution that molded them academically and morally.
The school's infrastructure had completely lost its luster. So we promised to do something about the situation. And we are here today because that dream is now a reality. We have built a modern toilet for the boys, a squatting flush system that cost the class of 94 over 11 million francs CFA. And we hope that this realization will spur other batches to come in and carry out similar projects.
A gesture well appreciated by the principal of Baptist High School Boya.
We least expected this kind of very, very impressive gesture. What you have seen, the students will be overwhelmed, will be elated, and we, the staff and administration of DHS, very, very elated.
The national president of ASOBEX, on his part, used the opportunity to call on all ex-students of Baptist High School Boya to join in making the alma mater stronger by emulating such good examples.
The class of 94, which I belong to, has done a fantastic gesture. We encourage all aspirations, wherever they are, to come together, come back to the family, and let's build what matters to us.
Chairing this event, the representative of the Southwest Governor lauded the initiative while calling on the administration of the school to maintain the facility handed to them so that it can serve students for a longer period. Cameroon's Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Ousmane Mey, and the World Bank's Vice President for Central and West Africa signed a consensual loan of over 426 billion francs CFA. This was during a meeting in Yaoundé yesterday, September 12, 2021. Details with Audrey Zadza.
Arriving at the Yaoundé Nsimalen Airport Sunday, September 12, 2021, the Vice President of the World Bank for Central and West Africa, Ousmane Diagana, and his delegation were received by the Secretary General at the Ministry of Economy and Regional Development, Jean Chofu. Mr. Ousmane Diagana, on Monday, September 13, met with Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Ousmane Mey, to examine cooperation between Cameroon and the group, an evaluation in line with the strategy of the World Bank Group to establish a new social contract between citizens and states of the West and Central Africa. The meeting focused on 15 projects in the cooperation portfolio estimated at 100 billion francs CFA obtained from the concessional loans. The projects in the portfolio are in various sectors including energy, transport, health, education, safety nets, amongst others. The visit was marked by the signing of another concessional loan of over 426 billion francs CFA to fund women's empowerment, education, and the Cameroon's Chad electricity interconnection network and investments in the Benue Valley. This meeting comes just a few days after the extraordinary summit of the CEMAC heads of states.
Paul Athanganji Territorial Administration Ministers reassured over 19,000 refugees who fled Central African Republic into Adamawa of constant support. This was during a working visit to the Borgop and Gam refugee camp. Details right ahead. According to statistics from the United Nations Human Rights Commission for Refugees, over 12,000 refugees from the Central African Republic are currently in Borgop and over 6,000 in Gam, Bere Division in Adamawa region of Cameroon. Territorial Administration Minister Paul Athanganji visited the Borgop and Gam refugee camps September 13 to assess their situation.
About the activities in the camp, we understand that there are so many challenges, but I want to thank all the supervisors who are here because I see that the premises is very clean. I think that they are doing a wonderful job.
Officials of the United Nations Commission for Refugees charged with the management of the camp say the people are in dire need of basic amenities.
The most urgent needs for these people are protections, access to health, to education for children, and of course, access to opportunities for them to sustain themselves.
After listening to the plight of the over 19,000 refugees who fled Central African Republic due to growing insecurity, Minadbos assured them their concerns will be channeled to the right quarters.
Here and make a comprehensive report. We have read the statistics of those who are here, and I think that at the end of the day, when we are going back, we will visit the other refugee camp which is not very far from here. And we will make a comprehensive report to the President of the Republic.
Minister Paul Athanganji, while reminding the refugees of the need to get tested for COVID-19, he urged doctors working at the camps to regularly do screening.
COVID-19 is still very active in Africa, and we have to respect the barrier measures. So I want to tell all the health officials who are here to regularly do screening, and if it's possible, they should bring down the teams for the vaccine. I think that vaccination is something which is very important. It is one of, I think, if not the best way now to curb the spread of the virus. So I think that we should respect the barrier measures because COVID-19 is still there.
At the end of the visit, the refugees were called upon to respect the laws of the host country while their needs are looked into. Now, traders at the Bona Musadi Market, Douala 5 subdivision have decried the dirty state of the market. With a trash can stationed at the market, users still drop it outside the can with stagnant water spotted on major sites. Student journalist and internship Tamu Manuela visited the market and brought back the following.
Bona Musadi, located in Douala 5 subdivision, is noted for its busy nature, where varieties of trading activities are carried out. However, the market surrounding is often seen in a very unhealthy state, with little measures put in place to ensure proper hygiene and sanitation. Garbage is seen littered around the market, dirty water found in the market as well as in the drainage in front of the market. Traders say this water often remains in the drainage for days and sometimes weeks without being removed or cleaned, and it becomes a home to mosquitoes. Despite the presence of a refuse can in the market, traders still dispose of their refuse outside the garbage can, playing negatively on their health. Faced with this challenge, some vendors say they always ensure their environment is clean.
The environment there. We try to keep the environment neat. Every you look at me, not there that way for take dirty because it will attract the customer they come buy. We know why the customer they come buy, they look place they dirty. It's not fine for them and it's not fine for we. We like way if one can the way customer come buy me the pay be neat. Yes, they play the environment for being neat. And we like to say me the council them. The market people, they're the big master for market, me they begin make the market for keep me be neat.
Just beside the market is a church with traces of dirt littered in front of it, coupled with stagnant water. With Cameroon counting thousands of COVID-19 cases and markets still seen in these conditions, traders have called on officials to look into the situation.
On today's health page, our reporter focuses on ovarian cancer, which is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths amongst women worldwide. Raising awareness helps fight the inequalities faced by thousands of women with ovarian cancer. Bokengo Wadi tells us more.
The burden of cancer incidence and mortality is rapidly growing worldwide. Of all cancers affecting women, ovarian cancer is the 6th most common cancer in women and a leading cause of female infertility globally.
Ovarian cancer is often referred to as a silent killer, but what we've learned is that that's not really true. Most women who develop ovarian cancer have symptoms for 6 to 8 months prior to their official diagnosis. Most of these women have gone to see multiple doctors and have been diagnosed with things like UTIs, irritable bowel syndrome, and any other host of problems.
Worldwide, an estimated 314,000 ovarian cancer cases are diagnosed yearly and about 207,000 sufferers die yearly. According to data from the World Ovarian Cancer Coalition, ovarian cancer is the 8th most common cause of death in women all over the world for many reasons than one.
If you have a family history of ovarian cancer, not ovarian cysts, but ovarian cancer, then you should see your primary care doctor, your OB/GYN, or a GYN oncologist and ask what you can do to remain proactive about your health. In the meantime, and for all other women, we ask you to monitor your own symptoms and be your own best advocate, an advocate for your mothers, sisters, and daughters.
Accounting for more than 60% death cases in women yearly, about 19% of women across the world do not know the signs and symptoms pertaining to ovarian cancer.
If you have the following symptoms for 2 weeks in a row, every day, and they're different from your baseline, you need to see your doctor. These symptoms include abdominal pain, change in your bowel movements, a sense of feeling full and only being able to eat a few bites of food, nausea, or a belly that looks bloated or distended.
Like every other cancer, the estimated 5-year survival rate usually depends on early diagnosis as well as lifestyle choices, environment, diet, and a regular visit to the doctor.
The Mongo Zona Football Championship has come to an end with Geneva FC as champions. Moke Job Reagan followed the end of the champions and compiled the following report.
Geneva FC of Modeka are the champion of the maiden edition of the Mongo Zona Football Championship Modeka 2021 in collaboration with the Multipurpose Youth and Empowerment Center, TICO. The final that took place at the Government Primary School Fee, Modeka, saw Geneva FC of Modeka beating Real Madrid of Modeka by 6-5 after post-match penalty as both teams separated on a 1-1 scoreline situation after 90 minutes of play. Oben Julius is the donor of the maiden edition of the Mongo Zona Football Championship.
I'm so happy, so grateful for the atmosphere. The atmosphere is so bright to me. For sending Mongo Zona, which is going on today. What is going on today is so happy. So I believe next year we should make a better team than this.
As animation in promoting the culture of the Mongo people was top on the agenda. His Royal Highness, the Chief of Modeka, motivated the two finalists with a sum of 50,000 francs each.
So this 50,000 can help to buy more clothes. Okay. I'll still tell you the same. Say that the same football is for the winner and the same for...
This maiden edition saw the participation of 7 teams from the Mongo zone in Tiko subdivision, as the final ended with award of prizes to outstanding players who were very instrumental during the competition, as another rendezvous for the said competition has been booked for next year.
And news out of the country, Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara has imposed a health pass on travelers entering Ivory Coast in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. These and more stories in Africa with Janga.
From September 20, a sanitary pass or a digital green certificate for COVID-19 will be obligatory for entry into Ivory Coast International Airport. This announcement was made by the Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara on Monday following threats of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. The certificate to be presented consists of a COVID-19 vaccination card or proof of a negative test result of not more than 72 hours. In recent times, positive COVID-19 cases in Ivory Coast have multiplied due to the Delta variant, considered as more dangerous and contagious. According to the Ivorian government, the COVID-19 certificate will soon be implemented in supermarkets, restaurants, schools, churches, and other public gatherings. Meanwhile, Guinea's military junta leader, Colonel Doumbouya, today began holding meetings with religious and political groups ahead of announcing a transitional government. The 4-day series of meetings is mainly about the West African nation's future following the coup over a week ago. Concerns are, however, growing about how quickly the junta will give up power to a civilian-led transitional government as called for by regional mediators and the international community. Today, the junta kicked off talks by meetings with officials from Selou Jalen Diallo's party, the Union of Democratic Forces of Guinea, and other critics of Condé. In the days ahead, it will welcome religious leaders to the People's Palace. Over in Nigeria, a Nigerian non-governmental organization has petitioned President Muhammadu Buhari to suspend a total communications blackout that was imposed in the northwestern states of Zamfara and neighboring Katsina. Nigerian authorities shut down telephone networks and the internet as part of an offensive against violent bandits and kidnapping gangs in the region, cutting off their ability to make contact. Last week, mobile network providers were directed by Nigeria's telecom regulator to shut down communications in Zamfara for 2 weeks. This came 2 days after at least 73 students were abducted from a school in the state. Zamfara and other neighboring northwestern states have been hit with several mass kidnappings by ransom-seeking gangs this year.
That's it for today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime Television. I am FON QUINTA. Prima comes up just after the news. Stay with us. Thanks for watching.